Hello, hello, hello. I'm so happy to be back on this channel after a long time. To all those viewers who have watched my video and have admired the content that I have shared in the past, whether it is textual or in video or audio visual form, thank you so much. Uh, I have been trying to upload videos, but there is some issue when I upload it through the mobile phone. So today I am just live. It just makes it easier for me to share the content. I don't have to take the file, upload it on the laptop, and then share it here. I think I need to fix my Rahu. Um, Time to make those updations here. So today's video, as you can see, is about Saturn in Pisces. And I know that some people have joined me, some people have not joined me. Whatever the case is, this video is going to get published. So since it will be published, it's much better that I take it in a normal official video format and start sharing things. What can we expect from the transit of Saturn in Pisces that is going to take place on 29th March 2025, and Saturn shall be in Pisces till 22nd of, what was the date? 22nd of something in 2028. I'm thinking it's February, March, or something. Let me cross check. Yeah, February. So 22nd February. Now, that being said, Pisces has two fishes in its astro symbol. The one is going downward and the one is going upwards. And as you can see the thumbnail of this video, I will try to put it. It's yin and yang. So there's good and there's bad, and there's white and there's black. And even in there's white, there's a dot which is black. So there's some bad in the good, and vice versa. There's a circle below in the yin and yang symbol. That circle is black, and in that black circle, there is a dot that is white. So there's some good in the bad also. And this is like the synergy of life. This is the circle of life. There's yin and there's yang. There's yin and yang essentially is a spiritual concept notion that leads us to energy integration. Okay. Uh, that's why Pisces is a sign of is a dual sign, is one of the dual signs. So Gemini, you've got your Gemini, Virgo, Sagittarius, and Pisces. They're all dual signs. These four signs, and they're representing the duality of life. But ultimately, we know that duality exists. But if we funnel down everything, there's just singularity, and you cannot understand singularity until unless you have not understood and stepped into the arena of duality. That being said, Pisces is an interesting sign, and when a planet like Saturn, which is originally the lord of the 10th and 11th, which means your karma and your desires, goes into Pisces, there is a lot of letting go involved. Okay, I am laughing because for the people who have their natal Saturn can actually understand it already, and for people who do not have their natal Saturn in Pisces, will understand it maybe in the coming years. Okay, which I have said 25, 26, 27, 28. So you've got Saturn, which is in Pisces, and like I've told you about the yin and yang and what actually that fish symbol represents. I've come to the point wherein 10th natural 10th and 11th lord has gone and sat in your Pisces sign. That means a lot of letting go is there. Your focus will shift in letting go, but this letting go is like very vaguely used term when it comes to Pisces. So quite loosely used, not explained in depth. What does this letting go actually mean? This letting go means that you're ending a cycle and you're finishing a karma. All right. This finishing of karma and ending of cycle is going to come to you in two parts. Okay. It is going to happen through energies, which are going to be tangible energies, and there is going to be a non-tangible energy, because Pisces is essentially ruled by Jupiter, and Jupiter, um, be Jupiter being the higher octane, like Pisces being the higher octane of Jupiter, because the first is, in the whole zodiac cycle, from zodiac number 1 to 12, 12th is Pisces. So ninth number, which is Sagittarius, comes first, and then comes Pisces. So Sagittarius knowledge, or the Sagittarius Jupiter, Sagittarius Guru, Sagittarius Gyan is that which is of um, higher knowledge. Okay, knowledge that is not coming in your primary or elementary levels of life. It's not talking about your skill. It's not talking about some information. It's talking about higher knowledge, like dharm. What am I here to do for? Mera dharm kya hai? What am I supposed to do? um, Understanding the message of mentors, father, guru. Okay, this is what your Sagittarius is. Then comes Pisces, which is above it, and this Pisces is knowledge of the higher world now, of the world that is the different world, of a different realm, which does not exist here. It is spiritual knowledge also, because if you see, Sagittarius symbol is a man, which is half man and half horse, with a bow and an arrow pointing towards the higher side. Funny that also Sagittarius is Akash Tattva. So the bow and so the arrow is essentially indicating towards the sky, towards the sky element, the Akash Tattva. But it actually means you will never see that Sagittarius symbol pointing downwards. It will always point higher, towards a place which is high above the ground, because all the goals that Jupiter needs to achieve in Sagittarius is of higher order thinking and philosophies and ideas and ideals. Okay, but Jupiter is way beyond it. So now Jupiter you can actually point um, as like the sky, which is outside the sky. So there is no pointing. It's just like everything encompassing. Pisces is a color. Pisces represents the color black, because in the vast cosmos of the universe, there's nothing. Okay, when we step outside Earth, we may see sun from a far distant distance. But when we step away from the solar system, there's nothing but the black cosmos, space. Okay, which is why Pisces is a representation of black. Is what I have understood, and it's just the entire universe and the knowledge of the entire universe. Then so on and so forth. What can we expect from a planet like Pisces going into uh, uh, what can we expect from a planet like Saturn going into Pisces doing to us for these coming years? The effects you can start seeing from this point onwards. That's why henceforth I'm making this video, because every time an energy has to enter into your life, it's going to start showing its effects from some point before. So it will start showing all its effects a little beforehand, to create that energy, to create that space in your life. so that you can be ready for it. uh, this happens all the more with Saturn. This will happen all the more with Saturn because Saturn is a slow moving planet. It's not a fast moving planet. So you will see things in a paced, slow pace. Coming back to the point, you're seeing results in tangible and non-tangible forms. So the tangible form is, like money going away, you losing things or something. And in the non-tangible form, it's your imagination. It's the highest octane of water signs also. So the primary levels of water are Cancer and your Scorpio, and just above all of that, the most matured water element that you can see in the whole wheel of zodiacs is Pisces. And Pisces being the most element mature element is trying to indicate that if water is memory, okay, because it's representing a past, and past is nothing but a memory. And that's why you can charge water, you can drink water in all the processes of healing. You can actually charge water, and when you heal it, when you drink it, it heals you. You can program water. That's what it is said. If you start talking to a healer, they'll tell you that the best thing that you can do to cleanse yourself is to take use of water, to go near water bodies, to drink water, to say an affirmation to the water. When you do some meditation, keep the water next to you. To heal aura, to heal anything, water is the first thing that's coming again and again and again and again, because water, the nature of water by default is to flow freely, flowingly. That's how water is moving. So, water is essentially a natural cleanser of energies. In life also, the moving water that you see, which is mostly Cancer, is it's a streaming water. And the water that is zodiac is actually, it's held water. It has no ripples, no movements on the surface, but it has a lot of some things going on within. That is Scorpio. So since Pisces is an energy of expenses, is what they say, because if anything, if a karma has to end, if anything has to take an exit, it is going to take an exit from the natural 12th, from the 12th house, which is the natural zodiac house for Pisces. So similarly, wherever Pisces is sitting in your zodiac, uh, in your birth chart, is where the Pisces is where the cycle ends. Now I'm not going to get into houses, and I'm definitely not going to get into the Lagna chart. I'm just here talking about the, of course, I have to, ideally I should be doing that in this video, but I can't make this video because this in itself is long, just me explaining what is Saturn and Pisces. Maybe in some other video I can talk about different um, things coming in for different lagna people. Okay, the different several different predictions for several different ascendants or of effects of Saturn and Pisces for different several ascendants. So what has happened to me? I think it's been a long day. So coming back to the point, that's why it is expenses. It's important for us to know why is it expenses in the first place, because Jupiter is also finances. But Jupiter is also that kind of finance, or that kind of value, or that kind of resource that is always going to be used, that is always going to be in complete use to you. Like, for example, if you learn something, if you acquire some knowledge, it will never go away from your system. Never. As opposed to Venus, if I work really hard, and if I start acquiring wealth, because it's a resource of a different nature and kind, I may lose it at some point of time, because I may exhaust it, because it's that kind of energy. But Jupiter is that kind of energy that you can't exhaust. It's magical in nature, and that's why it's one of the biggest blessings, or it's one of the biggest benefits, as so called in the world of astrology. Because once you acquire that faith, or once you acquire that magic, once you have gained that magic by believing in the teachings of your mentors, by believing in the gurus, and by understanding the spiritual nature of life, it just never goes away from your system. And that's what Pisces is, right? So you losing in money in the time of Saturn in Pisces would be a theme for you. Okay, because now this losing money needs to be your interpretation. Okay, it will be your interpretation actually. And you have to essentially, through the help of astrology, we can understand that this is not a loss, but rather an energy expense that had to leave my system. You can't progress in life until unless you let go of the old things. So if you've been hoarding some money that has not done any good for you, it is going to go away, because um, it is an energy that is exiting from your system and life and your karmic cycle, to make space for new things. Because right after Pisces comes your Aries, which is the new beginnings, which is like uh, sudden new energy that an infant has, that's why Aries I always look as infant. And and in infancy stage, the baby doesn't know why it's crying and what is happening to it. Even if you go and see why there is cry, like I'm talking about, in that stage, it just, if it needs something, it's going to cry, or it's going to do things for attention, because it's a very new energy sort of a thing. And even the astro animal for it is ram, right? Which has all these big um, horns sort of coming out. And that's why Aries is also a representation of head, but we're going to get into it later on, because not getting lost in details, Pisces is the ending of things. It's important for us to know why, if I'm losing something, some money, or something is going out of my hands, what is the actual understanding of it. And that's why astrology can't help everyone, but when it does help people who are trying to see things from uh, deeper layers, from deeper layers of life and deeper perspectives, since it's not superficial by nature. But life as it happens in the active state, as it happens in the flow, can lead to superficial understanding of things. And that's why astrology comes in handy to save you from certain things. uh, the only prereq that would be needed is your interest and faith. uh, but the results of it, or the outcome of it, is that you would gain a deeper understanding of not just yourself, but a lot of things around you. And is there definitely, these years are going to be the years wherein a lot of energy integration is going to happen. So because as I say, Pisces is yin and yang. You may think that, oh, energy integration is happening to me all the time, only if you have a natal planet in Saturn. So the transiting is going to bring about a lot of things into play, into perspective. Like, you feel sad, but you also feel happy. You feel pain, but you also feel pleasure. You feel um, bliss, but you also feel sorrows. Absolute, um, absolutely, utterly, disgustingly, in whatever way and form you can feel the pain, hopelessness, but you also feel a lot of faith in something higher than you, right? These are going to be the things in play when we talk about Saturn in Pisces. and you will start seeing things from a different perspective. You will start to understand and notice that how this duality of life works, and this is only one perspective of life due to the nature of mind. But essentially everything is one, everything is related to that one cosmic energy and higher power. Apart from this, forgiveness is going to be one of the key themes, because when we talk about forgiveness, is essentially, it has a lot to do with Scorpio, to be very honest. But when it comes to Pisces, when cycles are ending, and when things are energies being disseminated from the system, it is important to understand that all the old energy stored, all the anguish, remorse, disappointments that you've held, because Pisces is also a sign of our ancestors. Okay, this comes into play, and we don't even know how and when our ancestral healing is happening. So when people talk about blessing and curse, because ancestors ka, there are only two things that are happening. Either you feel that I have some ancestral curse on me, or I have some ancestral blessing on me, but actually it's all about perspective and the wrong and right conditioning, you can say, of the mind. That um, since Ketu feels comfortable in the sign of Pisces, I'm going to explain it to you through the concept of the tree of life. If you see roots, Ketu is roots, okay? And um, the tree that comes up with all its shining, bright green leaves, and the fruits and the flowers, that is Rahu. Rahu is up, reaching towards the sky, while Ketu is the roots that is trying to anchor you. So you stay grounded and anchored while you try to reach for the sky. And this is the synergy of life, Rahu and Ketu. Now, Rahu has everything to do with the material world. Okay, because Rahu here is trying to teach that you are here to connect with the consciousness of the world. And while Ketu is there, spreading wide, spreading strong. Now, whether it looks beautiful or not, it doesn't matter, but it's trying to become more firmer each time, and it's trying to increase its work of anchoring you and increasing your capacity to anchor more, right? It looks beautiful or not, it doesn't matter. The only work of Ketu is to grow you deep as a person and to make you realize who you are. Because before those roots, there's been something. And what was there? Smaller roots, lesser roots. Before that, what was there? There was a seed. Before that, what was there? Nothing. But everything around, before the seed germinated into a sapling, there was everything around it in the environment, like time and space, maybe, probably, to give life to it. And that is the concept of shunyata that we have in spirituality, which is Ketu. You going in the zone of shunya. Well, and Ketu feels comfortable there, because our origin, where we have come from, who we are, our soul ties, everything lies in um, Pisces. Because if we have an ancestral curse or a blessing, our lineage problems or gifts, they're all coming from somewhere, and it has to be Pisces, right? So similarly, we are like those roots. We're spreading wide, we try to understand ourselves, we also reach for the sky, we're one big tree of life. But where have I come from? I have to know that, and that is some seed right? There is some genesis and origin to my existence, and that is Ketu. That is, I'm sorry, Pisces. Um, that's why 12th house is representation of ancestors. I take it as Pisces also. In most of the charts I have seen, where there is a natal placements of Pisces, what it shows and what it indicates. Um, but Saturn going into the sign of Pisces is going to ask you to let go of something. So the sooner you understand the message of it, that what it is trying to release from your system, what is it that it's trying to cleanse you through. And this cleansing, or the concept of purity, piousness, or cleanse, it has become really wrong. Or rather, I would say it has become a very superficial, it has grabbed a lot of superficial attention to it, because we just think that if there's some purity or piousness or whatever, then there's something wrong that's happening. No, um, this is simply an indication that you need to clear some karmic baggages, some old patterns that you've been holding on to. um, Something coming to you from all the cycle that you have played so far, from Aries till Aquarius, is now again coming to you, to show you the good and bad, the yin and yang, which is the fish, and integrate that thing into your energy and get into a new cycle. That's how it is. That's how it is. And with that being said, Pisces is also going to play a very important theme and role of things coming to you from your unconscious to your subconscious and your conscious eventually. So like people start getting some interest in healing, hypnotherapy, PLR, which is past life regression, or um, uh, anything that has to do with imagination. So it's not necessary that, depending upon what kind of person you are, you will not get involved in these three things which I just said, which is it can be meditation, PLR, hypnotherapy, no, or dream interpretation, no. It can also be that you exploring an art form. Remember that this is the zodiac belt. This region of 30 degrees is where your Venus is going into exaltation. What is Venus going into exaltation? Wherein Venus is feeling happy, right? So this is the place where you are going to experience a sudden burst of energy in your system, wherein you can explore your imagination and you can explore your imaginative world. And when you can do that, or when you can connect to that, there are a lot of things that come up, not just this. So your unconscious mind can also open up a portal, wherein you feel connected to dance, you feel connected to art, painting, singing, and you enjoy that part of your life. It can become meditation, because remember, meditation happens in different forms. It just doesn't happen in the form of meditation, which is sitting meditation, or yog nidra, or like I said, other things, hypnotherapy, or whatever. It can happen to you like you just doing singing, or you're just singing, or you're just dancing, and that is the time meditation can happen to you, because meditation is not the same for everyone, and meditation can never be the same for everyone. So it has to be in a way that it allows you to completely engage in the present moment. Because what is actually the biggest challenge here? The biggest challenge is escapism. The biggest challenge of Pisces is to escape from things. Either you stay reclusive, you stay in the zone of your imaginary world, okay, which you can do through going into some sort of alcohol or excessively indulging yourself in bed pleasures, okay, and exploring that side of your life, or thinking of nap as an escapism, or even not sleeping as an escapism sometimes. um, Excessive spirituality also is escapism, by the way. So Saturn and Pisces is going to open up a portal in our lives to understand, to make us understand that there's a difference between uh, reality and fantasy. The biggest theme of why a Piscean, or why this energy of 12th house or the Pisces is an energy of an escapist, someone who just does not want to deal with things, because this energy is also representing an old soul, or a karma which is so old that it is done with things, okay. So it does not want to deal with certain things, but this can lead to a to a larger problem, to a bigger problem rather, which is that you not connecting with the present moment, and that is where the meditation is happening, that is where the magic is happening, wherein you are understanding that this is my past. Even my past even the person that I was in 2020 is no more me. That is my ancestor now. I am that ancestor now. So the me in 2020 is has become my own ancestor, and the one that has not come yet, which is imagination, just is come waiting for future. This is what we do. Is just a creative play of the mind. So what is it? What is there that exists anyways? It's the present moment that exists, and that's it. So this realization is going to dawn upon through Saturn in Pisces, and that's why it may take people towards, understanding the spiritual side. And since Venus is getting exalted here, so this is a place where um, love is able to take place unconditionally. Love is able to take place um, in a graceful manner, because love has less expectations and more a nature of how can I give, how can I give, how can I give. This is where Pisces holds a lot of giving energy, because it's anyways in the zone, or the framework of this zodiac, this 30 degree, is that how can I let go. So the nature that the person inculcates is also that how can I just give. I mean, I don't mind acquiring anything at this point of time. How is it that I can offer something to the world, and this can bring about its own issues, like issues with boundaries. So Saturn in Pisces is going to play out a theme of boundary as well, and as well as understanding reality, fantasy, energy integration, which is the yin and yang. Not to forget connection with the with knowledge of the higher world, because higher knowledge is Sagittarius, well and understood, but higher knowledge of the knowledge of the higher worlds, like the spiritual world, which is what is hypnotherapy, what is past life regression. But this is not going to be a theme for every month and every day. There may be a theme wherein you're getting connected to your meditation, to the present moment, through different ways. Like I said, that there's dancing, there's some art form involved. It could also be you providing your services in charity, doing donations, or going to the NGOs, working, doing some physical labor, and providing something to the world that is, underprivileged, less privileged. They do not have a lot of privileges. The people in their lineage did not have a lot of privileges. Why? Because Pisces is giving out. So when it's expense, 12th house, remember, is also what? It's a donation, it's a charity, something that you've given away. And when you're donating or when you're in the mode of charity, you're not expecting anything in return, right? It's gone. It's what you've given out with a lot of love, or maybe nothing, but you've just given it out because you saw someone in need and you gave it. Um, Both the sixth and the 12th, this axis is actually related to non-profit organizations and donation and charity. At the same time, so similarly, Virgo Pisces is related to that. um, Henceforth, when Saturn is going in Pisces, it's automatically having its seventh aspect onto the Virgo. So it's going to activate themes of you doing some donation, doing some charity, doing something selflessly, wherein yourself has blurred and dissolved, and you don't no longer care about it, and what you really care about is this fact, that how can you give and how can you be at service. And when you do so, you do not have any ego for it, because Saturn is ultimately the lord to make you to ensure that you stay humble, to ensure that you stay grounded. But Saturn in Pisces, because Venus exalts in Pisces, okay. So being the natural lord of Taurus and Libra, you can hand out your resources quite selflessly, and you can be quite selfless when it comes to relationships, because second number, seven number, Taurus, Libra. What happens in Saturn in Pisces is that you can, because it's a fish, and when the reality is not understood well, you can go round and round in circles. So when there's no energy integration that has happened, you've not understood the yin and yang. However, there's nothing to understand about yin and yang, there's only to experience and then do integration of your individual self. Like, you start integrating your bad and good side, happy and good side. See, remember, it's emotions. So water sign is emotions, and you integrating your emotions, you integrating your spiritual side. So same way, when I talk about reality fantasy, you understand that in reality I can do this much, but I cannot go beyond this, right? So you stay connected to your spirituality, but you also understand that beyond this point, it's not about my fate, and beyond this point, it's not about my karma, and beyond this point, it's not about my past life. It's about me doing and getting things done. Why? Because you cannot just put things into boxes of spirituality and past life karma, and oh, my fate is like this, or um, oh, everything just will work on faith system. Because remember, every zodiac has their motto, and the motto of Pisces is that I believe. So you just can't put things on belief system and let it go. Saturn will ask you to work, okay. And yeah, when you do this, the more that you work, you are going to exit or release a lot of stored old energy that was doing nothing but because remember, Saturn is storage. Saturn is not stagnant energy but storage, things that you've maybe probably hoarded, and you will be able to let it go through your water element. So these 2 years, Saturn is going to operate in the element of water in your transit chart. um, so this shall be happening through imagination, through spirituality, and through emotions. So you will learn a lot about these things. And with that, I will put a purna viram to my today's video. That means I'm going to put a full stop. I have spoken a lot, but I can still go on and on and on and on and on, but it doesn't make sense. This video is too long. So stay connected. If you like this video, just let me know in the comment section. You can always skip through it or watch this video into whatever that is, fast speed, to make sense of it, because I may be speaking slow, and I'll see you all soon.